I started reading The Girls by Emma Cline, and I'm so obsessed with Emma Cline's writing. So our protagonist is Evie, and she's a 14-year-old girl. Oh my god, it just captures teenhood, young girlhood in such a perfect way. Oh my god, like, listen to this. Maybe that's the best you could get. That sense of endless enclosure, like picking for the lip of tape but never finding it. Talking about like reading magazines as a young girl and trying out the tricks that it says to get the boy to like you. Really cringy, shameful, embarrassing things from being 14 that I haven't thought about in so long. And being confronted with those things here. Oh god, I didn't want to see this. I didn't want to remember what that was like. And I'm so glad to be out of it. So Evie is our, okay, wait, one more real quick. An acid bright jar of mustard. Like, she could have said yellow. She could have said bright yellow. Acid bright jar of mustard. Oh, it's just so good. It's so good. Okay, I can read more to you. I'm gonna close the book so I stop reading everything. Evie sees these girls, really mostly there's like one girl that she has become transfixed with, but she sees a trio in the park, and immediately she's attracted to them. She's drawn to them, especially because Evie's very lonely. Lonely in the way that 14-year-olds are, but there's a uniqueness to her. She doesn't have any siblings. Her parents are divorced, so she'll only be really living with her mom, and her mom isn't around a lot because her mom is getting over the divorce and going out and trying to live her best life. This is in the 60s. And I just found the line I want to tell you about, but I have to resist. What was I saying? Okay, yes. So then Evie sees these girls and she's like really intrigued, especially by one in particular who we find out is named Suzanne, who has long black hair. And she's like, wait, why is she so beautiful? But also she's like veering on ugly. Like, she has like dirty clothes and she doesn't have like these like beautiful rich things that I do. What Suzanne has, which Evie wants, is like a sense of self and assurance. And we know that a murder happens. We learned super early on that there's some sort of murder that's going to happen in the future. And Suzanne and I think a group of girls, the girls, are going to have committed it. And our protagonist, Evie, I don't know if she directly is involved in committing this murder or if she's in the periphery somewhere, but it's definitely like a culty kind of book. And normally, not my speed. I don't like true crime. I don't listen to true crime. I don't like any of that stuff. I like that we're seeing it through Evie's eyes and that so far she just seems to be in the periphery of things. So it's really about Evie and loneliness and desperation and girlhood in the worst ways possible. Okay, I'll read to you the thing I've been holding in. There's a boy that she likes, but even that, Emma Cline does such a good job of describing. It's like, well, do I like him or did I force myself to like him because he's older than me? And that's what 14-year-old girls do. You look at any boy older than you and you go, well, I guess I like him. I guess he's cute. I guess I want his attention. He had said to her, oh, looking good these days. And I'd already memorized the sentence. Like, as soon as it happened, she's like, I already memorized that sentence. Because she's going to go back and replay it in her head and dissect everything. And I just remember being 14. And I feel for Evie. And I know she's going to get into no good. Dreading that for her. I've now finished The Girls by Emma Cline. And something important to know, which, okay, I think I did know this, but I didn't know this. This is loosely inspired by Charles Manson and some of the killings that were involved, except in here there's only one killing. I don't know things about Charles Manson. Like, anything I've learned about Charles Manson has been against my will. I don't seek those sorts of things out. And I must have watched some BookTube video, probably more than one, where people have said that about this. But then when I saw this in a thrift store, I don't think I remember that that's what this was. I was thinking that this was the plot of The Guest by Emma Cline. So I started reading it and I was like, Anyways, just something to know and be, I don't want to say warned. Something to know in case that's, I don't know, gonna affect your reading of this. Dude, my girl Emma Cline. Okay, speaking of The Guest, I cannot wait to read another Emma Cline book. Her similes, her metaphors, but not in a way, like I cannot stress this enough. It's not in a way where she's trying to force comparison. She uses figurative language to really just strengthen her point as to like as opposed to prove anything, and that's what makes it so successful. She's talking about jellyfish in the aquarium, and she says, suspended in the water like delicate handkerchiefs. It's little things like that. It's little things like that. She adds 2 extra words. She very casually tells me, oh, kind of like this. Oh, similar to that. And it totally just... it makes it. Suddenly, I see it 30 times better in my head. And it's so perfect. And I really appreciated that it was not about the cult leader. It was about the girls. This is one of my favorite reads. Okay, my hesitance is not the book. The hesitance is the subject matter. Like, I don't like books like this. And yesterday I had trouble going to sleep because I was like spooked. Honestly, I shouldn't have read this. It's not for me. About a new writer crush, Emma Cline. I ended up going to the library and I saw Shark Heart, a love story by Emily Habeck about a married couple, Ren and Louis. And within their first year of marriage, Louis gets a diagnosis that he has a mutation, which means he'll be turning into a great white shark. And it's rare but normal in this world for people to have like mutations of animals. But the great white shark is a rare one and a tough one because it's dangerous to the caretaker while the transformation occurs. Louis is an artist. He's a theater teacher, had dreams of being on Broadway when he was younger, and he's interested in writing like a great American play. And Ren is the opposite, but they love each other. And Ren is practical and logistical, and she gives Virgo vibes. Not that I know anything about astrology, but the little I do know, she's giving Virgo. And Louis is giving Pisces. Oh, and he ends up great white shark in the water sign. Eventually, he needs to be released into the ocean. Once the transformation is complete or very, very close to complete, he needs to go into the ocean, and like that's it. That's right. That's the end of the marriage. And so we're watching them grapple this. And Ren, gosh, she's so I really admire her, and she's such a wonderful caretaker, and the way she expresses love is bottomless, and she's sacrificing so much, but she's doing it from a place of so much love, and I really respect that. It's really sad to watch her. I don't know, like it is sad for Louis as well, obviously, especially to watch him go from this sort of like, life is great and I love art and world is art, and we watch him become a harder version of himself, which is sad. On the flip side, we watch Ren, who is a woman by the numbers and very practical. We see her reach for hope during this time, and there's something heartbreaking about that. It's something heartbreaking about watching somebody who's normally not a dreamer reach for that place out of desperation. It's really beautiful so far. It's brought tears to my eyes. The part I'm confused about, I'm less than halfway through, just about halfway through. I don't know where it's gonna go from here. I don't want to say too much, but yeah, a few pages prior, it really could have ended. It could have been like a novella and ended right there. So I'm wondering where the next 200 pages are gonna take us. I'm scared that it's not gonna go in the direction that I want as a reader, because to me, it really wrapped up. It's perfect, it's beautiful. So I'm curious but hesitant. Something else to know is that Emily Habeck, the author, she was a theater major. Her own knowledge and love of theater comes through in the form of Louis, the character, because he is also a theater person. But in the actual like form that this is written in, we'll get like a page or two, and instead of it being written in sort of just like a novel form, it's written as a scene. I don't know, it's just very interesting to watch her sprinkle in forms of theater in this novel. So I finished Shark Heart, and overall I liked it. It was lovely. It had moments that really tugged at my heartstrings. And overall I would recommend. This book did something that The Swimmers by Julie Otsuka did that did not work for me. The second half of the book is a different story. In this case, for Shark Heart, it's the story of Ren's mother. And at the end, it does tie together, and that worked for I wouldn't say it worked for me, but that definitely saved it. That I was like, okay, I get it, I like it. Thank you for wrapping it up and bringing those two separate stories together in a way that makes sense. Whereas the swimmers, it didn't tie them together at the end. I don't like books that like the first half is like one story and the second half is another story. To me, that's just two books. That's two different books, right? Two different books. Yeah, it's like City of Girls by Elizabeth Gilbert also did that. And yes, it's the same character. Well, in this case, it wasn't the same characters. I mean, tangentially, like Ren was a child. Yeah, it's the same characters, but it's completely different circumstances and conditions. And I don't know. If you're gonna do that, I think I prefer it to be woven together throughout the story rather than like part one. Read about these two people. All right, you've done that for 200 pages. All right, for the next 150 pages, read about two different people. And then it's like, okay. I'm currently reading Girl on Girl, How Pop Culture Transformed... Nope, that's not what it says. How Pop Culture Turned a Generation of Women Against Themselves by Sophie Gilbert. It's a nonfiction. Oh my God, I lost my place. I found it. Okay. The subtitle is pretty self-explanatory. It is investigating, not genre by genre, but like, I have to say genre again. It's like the first chapter was Girl Power, Boy Rage, and that was about music. We're starting in the aughts, and so it's like chronological. And it's talking about music and lyrics, dehumanizing, degrading to women. And then we also have Showgirl, which was about fashion. And now I've gotten to chapter Girls on Film, which is mostly about movies like American Pie and the sort of copycat movies that came after that, like teen raunchy roles that women played in that and the impact on culture. I decided to refilm at least this part. Oh my God. As I was saying, I decided to refilm. Oh, I'm gonna have to refilm this refilm. I decided to refilm at least this part of it because I'm editing it. I'm just watching. It's driving me crazy. Like the camera keeps shifting perspectives. I'm up, I'm down, I'm side, I'm on the windowsill. It's crazy. So what I was saying is that this chapter, Girls on Film, I'm personally enjoying a lot more because it's referencing just more pop culture that I either have watched or I'm aware of. And I think because film is, like fashion was just a little bit too abstract because I don't know anything about magazine brands or, what is it called? Like, fashion houses, like Gucci, Louis Vuitton, what do you call it? Like, I think you say houses. I don't know. I mean, clearly, see, I don't know anything about fashion. And so that was just totally new learning for me. Like, I was learning about this perspective, this feminist perspective on a subject, fashion, that I don't know about. So I'm also learning that side by side. So it was truly new learning all around versus the films. I'm applying feminist lens onto movies and films I've already seen. It's velcroed onto existing knowledge. And therefore, I'm enjoying this chapter the most so far. I have COVID, so let's wrap up this video, shall we? I did manage to finish Girl on Girls by Sophie Gilbert, and overall, I thought it was really great. The book starts in the 1990s. It starts tracking pop culture around then. And seeing how I did not have existence for some of those years, and did not have consciousness, sentience, memory for most of those years, it was not as interesting versus when she started talking about Lindsay Lohan, Paris Hilton, Kim Kardashian, the initial, right, Jersey Shore. I'm like, okay, now you speak my language. I was there for that. My only issue with the book, which is not even an issue, it's just more so I expected something going in, and I don't think maybe that's what maybe I misunderstood, or maybe it misunderstood. I don't know. Somebody misunderstood something. It's called Girl on Girl, How Pop Culture Turned a Generation of Women Against Themselves. I thought the title suggested she would offer us like insight into how what was happening in pop culture then affected the average woman. For instance, like what trends changed for women as a result of paparazzi chasing down, harassing stars? Like, how did that affect women? How did that turn a generation of women against themselves? So then it makes me think, oh wait, is this like turning against themselves, like self-betrayal? And the way these celebrities push the currency of sexuality and the male gaze
even though that is inherently hurtful for women as a whole. I don't know. Or like she briefly mentioned the instance when Jessica Simpson, when she is performing at the chili cook-off, and she's wearing those blue jeans with the cheetah print belt. Right? I think I remember that. Tabloids were like, oh my gosh, she is disgusting now. She let herself go. So she keeps telling us how these powerful entities, mostly men, were exploiting women. But I thought it was going to be the lens of like how other women were. For instance, like the Jessica Simpson thing. Okay, so what was the average woman, the everyday woman or girl or teenager responding to the Jessica Simpson thing? Like, how did the average person, also under this like oppressive thumb of misogyny, how did these women basically agree with tabloids or side with tabloids because it meant that they, who were probably drinking their Slim Fast, it was a moment where they didn't have to look in the mirror and hate their bodies. They could look at a woman in a magazine and hate her body instead. So I thought it would give us more of like that. Or was there a correlation with like diet product sales around this like Jessica Simpson tabloid stuff, right? So I thought it was gonna be truly like a direct, this happened in pop culture, here's how it was affecting girls and women who were not celebrities. As I'm editing this back, I realized that I think if it was what I thought it would be, it would have been worded how pop culture turned a generation of women against each other. I think that's what I thought was going to happen. But that's not what she said. But that's what I understood. And let's just end the video here so I can heal and breathe. I can't wait to be better.